Welcome to my channel. On this channel I will be talking about my life with a disability called Developmental Language Disorder, also known as a DLD. I am not a professional in the DLD, so basically it will be a personal view of the condition. Do you see the subscribe button? Please use it as it helps me. And why don't you ring that bell as well, as that will mean you will get a notification every time I post a new video. If you've been here already before, then welcome back. So let's start this week's video. In this video I am going to talk more about DLD and how it affects me. I did mention this in the first video, but I thought I would go more in depth into it. Disability does not make you a burden, unknown. Being disabled isn't easy. If you have a speech defect, then it's not easy at all. The fact is, it is the hardest life there is. But just to be certain, this is from a personal view of what I know. There are other disabilities in the world that I'm sure are as hard as mine, but as I don't live those disabilities, I don't know if they're hard or not. Let us start with the obvious one, the speech. Speech is amazing in so many ways. It can give you excitement, sadness, a sense of power, a sense of anticipation. And yet, there are some of us in this world who haven't had any speech from an early year. They struggle to put a sentence together. I am one of those people. In growing up without much speech, until I was about 16, I had no concept of the aforementioned list. It was only time that I would learn these things and how to use them when I'm speaking to people. I had to go through years and years of speech therapy from the first moment my parents, mostly my mom, noticed that I wasn't speaking to the time I left school. The speech therapy usually consisted of phonetic alphabet. For example, A for apple, B for bat, etc. And then the speech therapist would build up my speech from then. Like building blocks. It wasn't easy, and it took me a while to get grips with it, because from what I can remember. Now, I know how to cause hurt, sadness, and everything in the aforementioned list. In other disabilities, the other disabilities are dyspraxia, dyscalculia, and deafness. Dyspraxia is to do with It's all to do with the coordination. And even though it's mild, it is still affects me in ways that I sometimes wish it didn't. These ways are if I'm tired and I'm going to go reach for something like a bottle of drink. And if it's open, I just I just hope that no one is nearby because it will go everywhere. Dyscalculia is all about math. This is a bad one. I didn't mention this under the other disabilities in a previous video, but as I said, I am going to go in depth with this video. This affects my math so much that I have a problem doing sums, using money, etc. Although it seems to be better than it used to be, I still have a problem. But this is where it gets strange. When I code, like using JavaScript, I seem to not have a problem with it. It is difficult to explain, but I don't see the math. I still have a problem with coding, but that's a different area of concern. It isn't easy for me to get my head around the concept of coding. But using JavaScript and having dyscalculia seems to not be a problem. When I was born with a layer of skin over the ear canal, which led me to be deaf in the left ear. Great Ormond Street Hospital, the Children's Hospital in London, tried to rectify it twice, but could not. So now I have been deaf all my life. And I am not bothered by it because it's part of me. I just need to remember to keep people on my right side. Otherwise, I won't hear them, which can be useful if I get bored by their talking. Well, I think that this video has gone on long enough, and as I just said, I don't want you to get bored with me. So, yeah, I will leave it here, and I need to get it edited and to go out so you can see it anyhow. But I want to just remind you to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to help me with YouTube's algorithm. Until next week, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.